Hi sellers, this is Tiffany with Bekaert. So now that you have Nexus in a state and you're ready to register for sales tax, the first question you ask yourself is, when did I get Nexus? Well, if you ask the state, they're going to tell you to use the date when you first reached either physical or economic Nexus in the state. For physical Nexus, this can be when you first started storing inventory in the state, when you hired your first employee, or when you signed a lease on an office building. This can sometimes be hard for Amazon sellers to determine, since Amazon can move their inventory in and out of states whenever they wish without notification. There are certain Amazon inventory reports that can be pulled to find the information, and for that I would ask that you email us and we can let you know which inventory reports to take a look at. For economic Nexus, this would be the date that you first crossed the threshold in the state, either the sales threshold or the transaction threshold. So what do you do if your effective date is in the past? Well, it depends on how much your liability is. If your liability is low, typically it makes more sense for you to file the prior period returns, pay the tax due, and just move forward. If you have a large liability, let's say $15,000 to $20,000, then we would recommend that you look at a voluntary disclosure agreement or a managed audit. With a voluntary disclosure agreement, sometimes called a VDA, you would owe the tax for the look-back period, but you would not owe the penalty and perhaps even some of the interest. This can be an expensive route to go with some states, so I would just recommend that you first look at how much liability you have in the state before determining whether or not this makes sense. If you do file the prior period returns, the state will assess liability for you for penalty and interest. For penalty, you can often complete a penalty waiver and ask the state to waive anywhere between 50% and 100% of the penalty. The states typically will not waive the interest since that's statutorily regulated. So what do you do if what you owe is more than what you can pay? Well, the states do offer payment plans. We have seen payment plans for anywhere from 3 months all the way up to 3 years, just depending on how much you owe the state. So next time you're looking to register, the first determination is to figure out when you have an effective date. And if you know that you have an effective date in the past, to determine what makes more sense, filing prior period returns or doing a voluntary disclosure agreement. These are things that Bekaert can help you with. Please reach out to us at etax@cbh.com and we're happy to help. Thanks.